talked about this before the break. More kids are using steroids and other performance-enhancing drugs. The Partnership for Drug-Free Kids released a report saying last year, 7% of teenagers said they had taken steroids at least once in their lifetime. And look, 11% used human growth hormone. So what is behind this, and why are high schoolers taking drugs many thought were reserved for professional athletes? For more on that, we're joined by best-selling author Dr. Jantz. Thanks for coming in.
Oh my, it's a startling number.
That's what I wanted to ask you about, because I read this and my jaw dropped. You help counsel kids.
We do.
What did you think when you heard they are taking performance-enhancing drugs?
Well, personally, I'm surprised at the number. I know it's going on, but when we look at how much is going on, that's scary.
11%, and it's not just athletes, apparently.
Well,
a good number of these kids said they're taking it because they wanted a good physical physique. They wanted to look good physically. What does that say about our mindset of our kids?
Well, one thing, comparisons and competition.
Yeah.
And the message in our culture right now for our youth is, I'm not good enough. I've got to be bigger. I've got to look different. So the message is, also, we live in a one-click society that says, I need this instantly. So what's the fastest way to do this?
So kids want to look good on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and so that's why they're doing it.
And remember, a teenager doesn't think about future ramifications.
Right.
They're not thinking, I got to look good now. So
as a parent, what can you do? How do you break through and say that isn't important, because these are dangerous drugs as we're developing?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. In fact, what it does to the brain is frightening. You can create a very anxious, a very depressed brain. Now, one of the things you want to talk about is ask them if they know any kids that take anything. Ask them what they know. So don't just say, don't do this, but ask them how much information, do you really know about this? And then show them a few pictures. If it's an area of interest and concern, show them a few pictures of somebody who's done this for a while. That's pretty frightening.
I think also part of the problem may be testing for steroids is expensive. I looked this up. It costs roughly $200 to test for steroids. HGH is even more expensive to test for. Do you think if high schools were testing, we'd see the number of students doing it go down?
Well, we may, and it is something that we need to be aware of. There's always indications. This usually doesn't stand alone. A kid may be doing this plus other things. Look for a kid that's doing a lot of diet products or powders, bodybuilding things. They're looking for the quick and easy. They may not be getting the results they want through all the formulas. And so, man, I'm getting more desperate, so I'm going to look to something more desperate.
I think the other part of the problem and part of the equation is that these kids, especially if they're athletes, they're looking up to professional athletes.
Absolutely.
And professional athletes have been busted. They've been tested, and it's been proven many of them have taken performance-enhancing drugs. So how do you break through to those kids, especially when many of them are going after scholarships, and they may think this may be the one thing I can do to put me over the top so I can be a college athlete? Yeah,
what you do is you run through, show them what's going to happen when they're tested and how they're going to lose everything. Now, also, show, because they may not believe that's true because they're a teenager, but show them a different way to achieve the goal. They've got to know an alternative, or they're going to stay in that desperate zone.
Right. It's not worth it, Dr. Jantz.
Well, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Marty, back to you.